beautiful souls, and thank you for visiting my channel. My name is Marianne, and I will be doing a special reading for 2025. I had put out there an opportunity for you to think about some questions and send them to me, and I was able to pull 3 that I'd like to concentrate on for today. Always remember that readings are fluid, so even though this is specific questions from specific people, if you've come and this landed on your phone or on your device, know that there's something here for you. And as always, take what resonates and leave the rest behind. So I've already cleansed and meditated on the cards and cleared the space, so let us begin. You'll see in front of me there are 3 cards that I've pulled right before I sat, and it is the Wolf Moon, which is occurring on January 13th. Then we have the full moon in Aquarius, which is happening on January 29th, and then the Snow Moon, which is a full moon occurring on February 12th. To be perfectly honest with you, I'm not sure why I was drawn to these 3 cards or why I was asked to pull them. We'll find out as we begin today's readings. And I just felt that this is basically the timeline that I'm working with. So anywhere from January 13th through to February 12th, and somewhere in between of January 29th. So let's pull the energy. So the first question that I wanted to concentrate on was, where should I keep my focus on for 2025? So keeping our focus on 2025, we'll just grab the overall energy. Okay. So the first card we have is card 7, which is gentleness. Number 40, which is crystal clear. And then we have 6, which is in touch with your body. I feel like for the focus of 2025, there is a lot here that has to do with being inner work. So being very gentle with yourself, removing any negative thoughts or stopping the negative thoughts as much as possible about yourself, about other people, but more on yourself. I feel like 2024, you were very hard on yourself when it came to your finances, your spiritual growth, or your career. And you really took that to heart. And I think there was a lot of self-blaming, not so much self-sabotage, but more of reflection of perhaps things that have occurred prior to 2024 in your life, that you took that time to take stock of everything that has occurred. So where you are now as versus where you are then, maybe you weren't as happy in your space or how you are at the moment. And for 2025, you're just being called to be a little softer for yourself. So probably taking a look at yourself in the mirror and loving yourself more, and finding the gentleness in you, and you'll be able to find the gentleness in other people. Also, for the crystal clear, I feel like your mind may have gone to different places. So not only, I feel like it's more of a discombobulated mind. Um, and now 2025, you're being asked to really focus on that one thing that you want to achieve in your life. This is more if it's being an entrepreneur, in your career, whatever it is, just set that intention. Be really purposeful in your intention, very specific in your manifestation. So, not being so broad, right? More like, if I'm just going to use a car. So, if there was a car that you wanted, you want to buy a new car, but be very specific on what kind of car. What are the benefits are you looking for? What are the features are you looking for? Or is it especially within your budget? And being very, very specific in what you want and what you're looking for, and not deviating from that. So if it means it takes you more than 6 months to find the car, then it takes you 6 months. But at the end, you're very specific in your needs, you're very clear in your wants. And it could also be for love. Love is coming out on this as well. So if there's, if you're hearing people telling you, don't be too picky, well, I'm telling you, be picky. Look for what you're looking for. I mean, don't get granular in they have to have brown hair, blue eyes, not like that. But in the specifics of what you're looking for, and how it would enhance your life, and call for that. And being in touch with your body is taking care of yourself. Eat more greens, more fruits, more vegetables. Focus on your health, whatever that means for you. If it means, starting usually at the start of the year, people are looking to, have a healthier lifestyle. And then by the time January ends, it's secular, right? The fitness industry is secular. By the time February, March happens, people tend to draw away, and you'll notice that your gym may not be, or the gym in general, aren't as busy. But take it step by step, right? Focus on what needs healing in your body, whether it's physical, whether it's spiritual, whatever practice you're trying to start. Do it in little increments, especially if you're new to it. For example, meditation, you want to meditate a little bit more. Know that meditation comes in different forms, right? Meditating by brushing your teeth can be the start of it. And just really get in tune and in touch with the bristles touching your teeth, the movements, right? And just really focus on brushing your teeth. If you have dogs and you walk your dogs, it could be that form of meditation where you don't bring your headphones, don't bring your phone. It's just you and your pup walking, right? If it's snowing where you are, feeling the snow underneath your feet, or hearing the wind rustling through the leaves, or feeling the sun coming down on you wherever you are in the world. That would be a lot of self-growth and self-focus for 2025, and that's the energy that I'm picking up here. So we're going to dive a little bit deeper. We'll go with the first one, in gentleness and healing. So thinking about being gentle with ourselves. And when we're gentle with ourselves, we tend to be gentle with others as well. Tell us more about gentleness. I'm pulling from the Medicine Woman Oracle. So we have divine sensuality. I reveal your talent to enchant. Interconnection. I bring you the medicine of togetherness. And we have intuition. Intuition is the messenger of the destiny. Follow it. So I'm feeling a lot here for the root and the heart chakra when it comes to your gentleness. The root meaning being a little bit more grounded and a little bit more centered. We talked about meditation with the in touch with your body, and this kind of coincides with that third energy there. And yeah, I'm envisioning you standing more than sitting, and being more aware of your feet touching the ground and really centering inward. Focusing on, see, what I see is being more connected to nature. Now I know why. Okay. So with the wolf moon, I just had that here. Okay. So for the wolf moon, it has that, it's hunger. So feed the good and hope within you. There will always be a lean part of the cycle. Prosperity will come. Do not let your hunger blindly dictate your actions entirely. And that is talking about the gentleness and being crystal clear. Yeah. So whatever it is you're calling for, whatever it is you're asking for, I feel like before you do, you need to center, you need to ground yourself. I feel being out in nature will benefit you when you're doing this exercise. Again, whether it's walking, even if it means just walking from home to the car, be intentional with each of your step. So that's still grounding, right? If you're standing in line at the supermarket or at the bank, or if you are a commuter and you travel to work, taking that moment while you're waiting for the train, while you're waiting for the bus, to kind of take in a breath. Focus on what you want to achieve for the day. And feel what your body is feeling. And placing your hand in your heart, or if that's not for you, just repeat to yourself, you're okay. You're safe. You're loved. And by doing that, you're healing your heart. And say it as many times as you like throughout the day. When things are starting to come negatively at you, just kind of push it off and say, nope, I'm not doing that. I'm okay. I'm safe. I'm loved. And as you begin to do these habits, and it becomes natural, it feels strange at first. Trust me, I know. But you'll notice a shift and energy in your heart space when you start telling yourself that repeatedly. I'm okay. I'm safe. I'm loved. And you'll notice how in here the interconnection, so it's as if the root is opening up as you continue to tell yourself these things. And as it opens up, it I feel like there's a bright light that's in your heart. And then there's that healing in your heart. And then for the intuition piece, it's more of once you've opened up, like if you notice in the cat now, I feel like there's stability now in the root, and the heart is blooming up. In this is what I see in the card, is your heart is opening up a little bit more. It's more vibrant, right? If you do the comparison between the two, it's more vibrant, right? And then it actually spreads. I feel like the wings are spreading out a little bit more. And that wing signifies to me that it's expanding you to the point where now you can listen to your intuition and trust your intuition, because now it's coming deep within your root, it's coming deep within your heart and your gut, because it's opened you up and blossoming you out. So if there's anything for 2025 that you need to focus on, is really on the self and your self-growth, your self-healing, being more gentle to yourself, being clear in what you want for yourself, very specific. And if it means writing it down, write down. If you journal, write down everything in the morning to clear your mind, to allow, all that stuff in our head leave, so that the good stuff could come in and you could really focus on your internal self. Yeah. And that's what I have for you to answer the question, where should I keep my focus on for 2025? So we're going to go on to our next question. So the next question that I got was, what does the universe want me to put more faith in for 2025? So we're going to pull from Thoughtful Journey. To grab 3 energies for you. So thinking of, what does the universe want me to put more faith in? We have perspective, transformation, and love. Okay, so we're going to take the book out. So we have, the first card is number 12, perspective. Sorry, I'm just... I'm trying to formulate the words that I want to say because there's a lot going on when I look at perspective. And there's a lot that I see. Okay. I'm going to read perspective. So for perspective, it says, peering into a calm, clear pool of water, you will see the reflection of the sky upside down, the glorious clouds above, and the view of your beautiful self looking into a mirror. This simple change of perspective can focus your mind to view your life from a different angle. Things are not always as they seem, and one small shift in your thoughts about someone or a situation could change your whole day. You are the only one that can decide how you will view the events of your life. Focusing on adverse events or unfavorable opinions of people will draw attention to the negative. If you alter your outlook to search for the positive qualities in people and situations, your perspective will change. You have picked this card to turn your world upside down. Learn to see your life from all angles, starting upside down on your hands, sideways in profile, backwards with a twirl, or inside out with deeper reflections. Doing this will allow you to find the right side up of your life. Could you view a challenging situation differently? Could you put yourself in someone else's shoes to understand why you're acting a certain way? Could you view yourself in a more positive light? Choose to open your mind and let your reflection present a different perspective. The dancer is joyfully turning the world upside down to find a new perspective. Is she viewing the reflection of the cherry blossoms while upside down in the tree, or is she reaching for the clouds? This new and beautiful view has given her a transformed perspective on life. And then you have card 25, which is transform. A butterfly, a magnificent creature with colorful wings and fluttering grace, is a sign of transformation. You learn from a young age that the caterpillar must be nurtured in order to form a chrysalis from which the beautiful butterfly will emerge. During the process, the wings of transformation are born. You are the one that possesses the power to transform your life, and by being open to change and growth, you will experience metamorphosis throughout your life's journey. Inner transformation requires honesty and self-analysis that is non-judgmental. To transform, one must be open and willing. You have drawn this card to help you to remember that just one choice can transform you. Morph your thoughts into actions. There is no final destination. The butterfly flies in the sky after its former self crawled on the ground. Allow the universe to align you with changes that will breathe grace and color into your life and grant you the ability to take flight. Can you think back of a time when a butterfly fluttered close to you? Are you nurturing your caterpillar qualities to prepare for your expansion? What parts of your life do you crave to remodel? May you discover that a beautiful transformation is possible. The dancer's beautiful butterfly wings are emerging. They will continue to lift her out of her caterpillar state and into the flight of transformation. And then you have love for number 19. Love is that indescribable sensation that you feel deep in your heart, that you see through your eyes, that you sense through your life experiences. Love can be a breath, a sweet treat, a best friend, a good cup of coffee, a dance in the rain, a pet, or a bird singing. It's passion, affection, and deep respect. Love will be an experience of infinity that begins and ends your life. It's the principal ingredient of life. Choosing to have love in your life gives you a place of acceptance, healing, and grace. Embrace yourself with self-love in every step of this life, as nothing is more powerful than love. You have drawn the love card so that you may focus on whatever brings you the greatest feelings of love. In your life, what makes your heart beat and flutter faster? Are you open to love in your days? Are you giving yourself love in all occasions? Could you show someone how much you love them today? The more you give, the more you will receive. Love attracts love. Be open to all signs of love in your life. Love is shining through the dancer's movements. She has love in her pirouettes, love in her heart, and love is guiding her in the dance of life. Okay. So for perspective and transform, so there's two things I'm reading, I'm feeling. So we'll talk about love in a moment, but this perspective and transformation, I feel that you as an individual is very pure in your heart. You know, you give yourself to you give 1,000% of yourself to everything that you touch, whether it's your child, your family, your career, your business if you're an entrepreneur. And everything that you give comes from a place of love for you, from you. It's a place of goodness. Like, I just feel this positive energy about yourself. And whatever you give, whatever you give of yourself, it blossoms, right? Like, I just feel like there's such a goodness in you. And what I see in that, and I'm picking that up because of the cherry blossom. It's as if everything you touch, it's not like the Midas, like everything you touch goes to gold. It's not that. Everything you touch blossoms into something so pure and so beautiful, right? No matter what it is. But I feel that, not that you give too much of yourself, but you're not giving enough to yourself. You're not giving that same perspective that you give others to yourself as much, right? So, for example, let's say, you're willing to help other people flourish in their business because of your own experiences, or helping them with their work or whatever it is, and you get to watch it blossom and you get to watch it grow. But this is more personal. This has nothing to do with your career or anything. But when it comes to yourself, you're being asked to give yourself that same perspective that you would give another person. So if someone is coming to you for assistance in a certain matter in their own life, you're able to give that 180-degree perspective, right? You look up, you look down, you look side, you look back, you're flipping around, you see everything, right? Like, as if this is the crystal ball, you can see it all. But when it comes to you, you're not giving yourself that same reflection or perspective. So you're being called to do that, to look at it from different angles, right? And what is blossoming for them will blossom for you as well. But I feel that there's something in you that's holding you back from transforming? This may not resonate. So if I feel it's time, if there's something that's brewing in your mind that you feel that you need, it's time to let go and move on from, I feel that this is what that is. And it's time for you to go for it and not hold back. So, for example, if it's okay, I'm just going to say it. So, if it's a relationship, I'm just using it, for example, if it's a relationship, whether it be a business relationship, a friendship, or a love relationship, partnership type of idea. And in order for you to expand, you've done all you could for that partnership. Let's just call it a partnership, whether it's business, friendship, love, interest. Okay. I feel that you've been thinking for quite some time whether or not this partnership, and I air quote that, not that it has come to an end, the partnership has, meaning in order for you to grow, you need to let go of the partnership, not necessarily the friendship behind the partnership, if that makes sense, right? Because there's two levels of partnership. Here we go. So you have the partnership, whether it's a business, love, or a partnership with yourself. There's the friendship element of that partnership, right? Whether it be a deep connection friendship or, a workmate friendship, whatever it is, there's still that. We'll bucket it under general friendship. And then there's the partnership that comes along with the friendship. I hope this is making sense. So you have two levels. You have the friendship that backs up the partnership, and then you have the business partnership of the partnership. I feel that with this transformation, the business partnership piece, you've been thinking about, you've done all you could for that as far as your self-growth perspective, but it doesn't necessarily mean you want to end the friendship. So whether that's, you know what I mean? You just want to kind of move away from the partnership because you're being called to do something different. And that's going to help in that transformation piece. But because of the deep rooted friendship and the deep connectedness of that friendship, it's making it difficult for you to make the decision whether or not to break away from I'm going to call it the business element of this partnership, right? Or the love element of the partnership, or the friendship element of the partnership, right? Because you could still be friends with someone, but you don't need to be close friends, if that makes sense. And I feel that right now you're in this caterpillar introspective phase. Spring is coming, so I hope sooner rather than later. I feel spring is going to be the time where you're going to need to make a choice of how you're going to deal with, severing's too harsh but of a word, but slowly letting go of the pieces of the partnership while still trying to maintain the rootedness of that friendship. And you're going to have to go inward. And this is where the perspective comes in, where you're going to need to kind of take a look at everything. Because that friendship that you currently have with the individual is so important to you, like sisterly or sibling, let's call it sibling, um, kind of a thing. Now, I know when you're thinking, but you talked about love and sibling, that's kind of gross. But, it's that deep rooted connection is what I'm trying to get at, right? That you have with the individual. And I think that's where you're struggling with a little bit, is trying to figure out, how can I grow me without losing this beautiful thing that we've created together. Um, yes. So that's for that one. Okay. Yeah. I'm just wondering if I need to go a bit deeper into that. Okay. So this feels like it's one thing here. And then when it says here for the third, for love, I'm going back to the book here. Yeah, okay. So the card of love is not relationship love, but it's more of you're able to once you're able to verbalize what you need to say to your partner, again, business, friendship, love. But I will tell you, because I wouldn't be truthful, is specifically for the person, I feel it's more of work related, business type of idea. But I think once you're honest with yourself and your partner, it's going to unlock and open you up to something far greater than you could ever imagine. And I'm going to pull a card, actually. It's at the blind spot here. I was called to do that and I didn't have this card ready, so I had to go grab it. But I think once you unlock that and have that conversation and you dig in deep and you look at everything and you make the decision, whatever decision you need to make, because again, this is today, and readings are fluid. So once you make the decision, and again, I feel like it's around the springtime. So I'll find out for you, because I have a deck that pulls dates for that. Um, okay, so we talked about how once you're able to reconcile um, your desires, and that you put aside everything that the obstacles that you feel are hindering you from that forward movement that you want to take for yourself, it would unlock the path you are meant to be, right? um, And as long as you come from a place of love and truth from your heart space, I don't foresee it. Yes, it'll be a conversation or a difficult conversation that you may have to have, but once you let that go, um, and have faith in knowing that if it's a true partnership, a true friendship, it it won't matter how you either dissolve the partnership or walk away from the partnership or step back from the partnership. So it doesn't necessarily mean like you're cutting it and that's it. It's just stepping away from it, and whatever that means for you. And you, you'll be able to focus on the year ahead and what you need to do. And that's why I was mentioning earlier that it's it could be around the springtime that you begin to open up and make the decision to step forward with what's next for you. So taking a look, okay, let's go on a little bit more. Okay, so I'm pulling from the Light Seers. Let's learn a little bit more about the perspective and the transformation and the connection between the two. I also want to say that the birthing of your idea has been kind of in the womb, let's so to speak. Like you've been thinking about it and it's in the early stages. So it hasn't been birthed yet. But, and you haven't actually actioned anything for it yet. It's just brewing, percolating in your mind. So tell us more about perspective and transform. Okay. Oh. Okay. Yeah. So you have a Page of Cups. So yeah, it's something that's in flight. So meaning, I know when you hear in flight that it's in the process stages, but it's not in flight. I mean, it's some things that have come into mind and then it goes, but it's something that your heart desires. It's still early, the Page of Cups, but it will bring you an abundance, right? And it's probably a thought that you're like, yeah, this is, I'll think about it, or this is so far-fetched, it probably would never happen, that saying when pigs fly type of a thing. So it's kind of like that idea because it's remunerating in your brain. But I I feel like it has been something that you've been thinking about and wanting to do. But at the same time, you see how she's kind of holding on to it, but with the Two of Wands is also kind of turning her back to it. So like it's almost as if you're just kind of trying to put it out of your mind. Either you're thinking, no, it's not the time, my certain situation won't allow me to do it right now. But I feel it's something that you can do. I see that there's the world here, and then there's like a drawing of, the old Volkswagen van, if you've ever seen that. So I feel like it's something that may take you away for a little bit. I wouldn't say a vacation, but more of a place that you need to go to do some learning. I want to say it's a place where you need to go to, like an ashram. I don't know. Bahamas is coming to mind, the ashram down in the Bahamas. I don't know if that was something that you've been contemplating or thinking of doing, which may be one of the reasons why it may be taking you away from your current work life or business life. Yeah, and with the Seven of Cups, with the cups being upside down, I feel, it's kind of like a snakes and ladders. Like every time you think, yeah, I'm going to do it, and then you get down to the next cup, and then the snake brings you back down to, oh, but I have A, B, C, D, E, and then you go back up, you jump a few cups, and you come down. And I think, you keep thinking about what to do and how you're going to move about, how can my business flourish, or how can I still maintain a work-life balance if I'm away? How about, if you have a family, how about, my child or my children, who's going to take care of them? Perhaps they're very young, and they still need their parent. And those are things that I think you're, struggling with at the, not struggling, but contemplating with right now. And with the King of Swords, I feel like you need to have that moment of self-reflection. And I think we talked about nature in the previous reading. I feel like if you're a hiker, or if you need to sit, depending where you live, of course, if you have the ability to watch the sunrise, I feel like being somewhere at the crack of dawn, right before the world wakes up, is where you're going to find the answers and that you need to take, and the answers that you've been looking for. You may have to do it a few times because of course, you're going back and forth with it. But I think once you're able to ground and center yourself and look at everything from all perspectives, so you see that the king is on top of the world, and if you on top of a mountain, I feel, and you'll notice behind them is, the mountain, but then yet there's the owl and the eagle, if you believe that's a bat, so again, and a mosquito, and then I feel like he's on a valley and there's rocks. So I feel like this is the moment where you're going to be able to see the different perspectives. You may not be able to do it all at one time, but you're getting there. And again, that wish fulfillment, wishing upon the star, feel here, to give you what it is that you desire, because you're looking up at it, you're asking the divine, God, the universe, for direction as to where you need to put your focus. So when you're talking about where to place your focus at this moment in time, it's really the next phase of what's to come next for you. That's where you need. But right now, in the present moment, you'll need to be able to have that deep rooted conversation with, your partner, to let them know where you need to go. and where you want it, where you see yourself going in the short term, right? Probably you feel like I've done what I needed to do here, but now in order to expand this part of my life, I need to go here, but I'm not ignoring my current situation. I'll just have to pin it for now, come back to it so you can focus on your own personal growth. And that personal growth, I mean, like I said, you have a beautiful energy. There's real, everybody has everybody needs to grow and learn to grow, right? You don't stop your growth, but the growth that I'm talking about and the expansion I'm talking about is not necessarily um, it's a higher level of expansion is what I need to tell you. um, but I think, like I said, like the Bahamas is a destination, that ashram type of idea, that when you go there and you take the time to settle in and you're actually following your heart space and you can dance through that, it's going to bring you into a different enlightenment and a different um, view of the world, which will allow your work life or your business life to expand exponentially and grow in a different way from what it is now, right? um, I don't have a sense or a feeling that you're dissolving that business partnership. It's more of you're moving away from it as we continue to do this reading. We're going to expand on love. Now, for fast forwarding to the after the conversation, because I feel like this piece here is going to be coming after the fact. Okay, tell us more about love. And where the universe wants to put more faith, where will that be? Okay. All right. Now the Page of Pentacles is in reverse. And in its upright, oh, you've got quite a bit. Okay, so in its upright position, if you do yoga, there's tree pose. But because you haven't had this conversation yet, and again, a different perspective, like if you look at the two cards, they're upside down. The difference here is you can now, as I said at the beginning, you have this innate ability to look at everything 180 for everybody else but yourself, right? You do on some certain things, but I think for this current situation, there's that instability. So in tree pose, you're really well rooted down, right? That's the whole purpose of tree, is just getting centered, getting rooted down through the sole of your foot and feeling the stability of the earth underneath you. Right now, because you're upside down, that stability is still there, but you're unable to take a look at it from the perspective that you need to take. Once you're able to take, you're able to have the conversation with your partner in what you feel you need to do for yourself and what your journey is going to look like. Your Six of Wands will will not be reversed. So the reason why it's reversed is because it's being blocked by you not wanting to, or maybe you're just not ready to have the conversation, or you're just not sure if it is what you want to do next for yourself is really, the step you want to take, right? Because now, if you have a family, for example, you want to put them first, right? And you want to make sure that your decisions have an impact, right? To your family life, to your work life, to your personal life. And you want to make sure that I feel like what you want to do, what you want to do for your next steps. But I think there's just a lot of people in your life right now, core people, that you want to be considerate of. But just know that once you have the conversation, you'll find that you will be supported, and then you'll have 2 feet on the ground, right? And you'll be able to move forward, right? It's going to be, with water and cups, it's emotions. There's going to be emotions involved with your decision. And you'll notice now you moved from a 7 to an 8 of cups. So the snake and ladder feeling that you had when it came to the transformation and the perspective and the transformation piece where you're at right now, you'll soon be able to move from the 7 to the 8 of cups. And from there, you'll be able to go forward. I don't want to say something better, but it is better in a sense that it's bringing you to where you need to be. And of course, with the 3 of Wands, you're going to hesitate, right? You're looking to decide whether or not it's water you want to journey through. So you still have that moment of contemplation, but with the 3 of Wands, and Wands for me is like an action card. I have no doubt that you'll be able to move forward once you take the direction and this Chariot allowing you to go forward. Now, sometimes in some tarot cards, the Chariot, you'll have the horses moving, both horses going into opposite directions. But here, for me, it'll be quickly, right? It's a quick moving action going in the same way. So once you've made the decision, you're going to be going forward. Like nothing will be stopping you where you're going to have to waver, either or, right? And you're going to be fully supported. It's going to be something that is within your heart of hearts that you know that you need to do for you. It's going to be magical. And you'll see that there's a heart on their sleeve, and this is where it's actually going to expand you in ways, right? It's something that you've romanticized about doing for yourself for a while now, and with the Knight of Cups, this is something definitely that you've been wanting to do, I feel like, for quite some time. So to answer the question of what does the universe wanting you to put more faith in, is more faith in your next journey that's coming. That's coming shortly, actually, is what I feel. Now, I did say I would pull timing for this, for when this will all come to fruition for you. I will do that. And I use the Sun and Moon Tarot card really predominantly for timing. So, what is the timing? out first. So we have the Queen of Wands and the Strength card. Oh. Okay. Let's see. Wands is fire. All right. Aries, Leo, Sag. It's action. Aries, yeah, March. I'm just thinking when Aries is. I think Aries is in, I believe Aries is in March. And then we have the Strength card. And that's 11. Leo. Okay. So oh, look at this. Okay. Okay. This is what's coming to me. So with the Queen of Wands, Wands is, it represents fire. And as I mentioned, Wands is action. So it's Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. I said spring, so sometimes during Aries season, which I'm trying to remember now. I think we're in Capricorn, Aquarius. Aries is February 20. No. Let me just think about this. It's been a while since I've done this. So Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. Now, is Aries before Pisces? Oh gosh. Taurus, Aries. So before April 21st, so by the time April 21st rolls around, I'm trying to remember whether or not Pisces is for Aries, so you're going to have to look it up. I'll look it up. Let me just see if I can find it here. Let's see. Aries. Oh. So March 21st, so to April 19th. Okay, so I was right, before April. So between March 21st and April 19th, so within Aries season, this is where it starts to happen. The conversation, well, you're going to have the conversation for sure before April the 19th. And I find it interesting that the Queen of Wands came out because in this deck it says that the Queen of Wands is the water of fire. It's self-knowledge, self-fulfillment, and transformation. And it says that the dark spots on the leopard, because there's a leopard here, reveal the dark sides of the self, and the strong stance denotes power and self-assurance. So once you've made that decision, that this is what you need to do for yourself, and this is the steps that you need to take, the conversations that you'll be having with the key stakeholders or the key people or the key partners in your life will occur. Now, the dark spots, it did say, it's the spots or the dark sides of yourself. I wouldn't think that they were the bad things. I think it meaning that it's the dark side is that these are all the hidden, not secrets, but your hidden desires that you have yet to share with people that you've been trying to, debate whether or not you want to pursue. With the Strength card, what did we say? The Strength card is linked to Leo, which is in July 21st to August. Yes, July 21st to August 21st is when when everything's going to start to occur for you, or that moment where things begin to come into place. Yes, this is where this stage will start to begin, or will be in the process of, right? Because somewhere between, what did we say, March? Let's say April 20th to the end of Leo season, which would be August 20th, 21st. You're going to be starting to prepare. That's your preparation stage. And I feel that on this day is when things are going to come into fruition, which makes sense. So if it's going back to school and that's something that you want to do to enhance some skills, or that would be the right time, right? Because school starts in September. So from April to August, you'll be doing the steps and preparations, whether it's preparing, closing off work, or closing off that relationship. And then you're going to be able, and preparing everything that you need to prepare for yourself and your family, if you have family, so that you can be prepared to take the next step into your next piece of your journey. Now, I'm going to pull a couple more cards, but the one card I wanted to go into is the blind spot. The blind spot, a friend and I always call it's a kick in the mouth, because it has you take a look. Now, if you look at the images here, it really doesn't say much of what it is. And I didn't even have to think, because it kind of came out. You got the number 4 and the number 61. So these are the two things that are blocking you from blocking you in your next, let's say the next piece of your journey, but we'll call it that. So number 4. So the blind spot here for you are your motives. So if you have drawn the seagull, you are not aware of your true motives in the situation at hand. In order to avoid the consequences of this blind spot, you are going to have to be brutally honest with yourself about your actual intentions, motives, and desires. You are going to have to do this even if it makes you feel as though you may be a bad person. As people, life is torture for us to live if we have a poor self-concept. We have to see ourselves as good. But this means that for the sake of seeing ourselves a certain way and being seen a certain way, we are perfectly capable of even fooling ourselves about the truth of our actual motives, intentions, and desires. For example, we might gossip and plot against someone simply because we are so envious or jealous of them. We might tell ourselves that we are marrying for love when in fact we are marrying a person simply because of status or security. We may say yes to something we don't want to do, but act as if we do want to do it so that we can get whatever reward we are after. We do this anytime we have a means to an end attitude. We may be acting two-faced, which is always an indication that our true motive is being hidden. We may pay the bills simply because we want to force people at the table to be indebted to staying allied with us, as is so often the case when someone does something to displease us and we say, "After everything I've done for you." The problem isn't the motive itself. The problem is we are fooling ourselves about it and fooling others about it. This makes it deceit. If we want to transcend this blind spot, we must be willing to feel shame. We must be willing to really admit to ourselves that our actual motives, intentions, and desires are, even if doing so makes us see ourselves as bad or wrong. Otherwise, we are leading ourselves and others straight down the path of suffering. And then the next card you had was 61, which is 7, Chariot. Let's see what it says here. I almost want to say that this blind spot is what is holding you back from moving forward. Okay, this is going to be a long read. 61 is temporality. If you have drawn this seagull, what is preventing your progression is that you are either too attached to the temporal in general or to an aspect of the temporal. This has caused you to lose sight of the bigger picture, which includes much more than the temporal world. You might be looking for a solution that does not exist in the temporal world. That is, like looking for a lost key, but being convinced that the key is somewhere in one specific room, and never finding it because the key you are looking for is not even in the room. The temporal world is a world of the purely physical. It is particles, body, color, shape, soma, physical health, and physical aspect of sex, money, houses, places, things, the physical aspect of food, plants, people, and pets, possessions, etc. It is the realm of the material. If you have drawn this seagull, you may be so invested in the physical and provable and rational, and even potentially the type of science that is purely focused on physicality and those same things, that you've forgotten that there is more to the universe than meets the eye. The physical world may seem secular, but it isn't. The physical world is not separate from spirit. It is a manifestation of spirit. You are denying the majority of the universe, and actually the majority of yourself, if you have invested in this way. Because of this, you might be more skeptical than you should be. By closing down your mind, you become unable to experience other potentials and other realities. You become selectively ignorant. Perhaps the seagull is calling you into open-mindedness and even faith. To have faith is to have positive confidence or trust in something. It is to think something is true even without proof. The famous philosopher Bertrand Russell once said, "Where there is evidence, no one speaks of faith. We do not speak of faith that 2 and 2 are 4, or that the earth is round. We only speak of faith when we wish to substitute emotion for evidence." Unfortunately for Bertrand Russell, he is forgetting something. The first person who believed the earth was round, enough to be motivated to set out to prove that it was round, had to go on faith before there was proof to back up that belief. Many people believe that faith is the absence of doubt. This could not be further from the truth. We only think that faith is the absence of doubt when we continue faith with knowing. Confuse faith with knowing. To doubt is to have uncertainty about something. Faith cannot exist in a universe of certainty because certainty is knowing. Faith is not required when we know. And so, if doubt is uncertainty, doubt is a necessary condition of faith. If we take doubt a step further and let doubt mean what it means emotionally to most people, to doubt is to consider something unlikely, and this is to act as if you know something that you do not know. It is to bring a sense of certainty to a universe of uncertainty. For this reason, doubt is the flip side of faith. If you have drawn the seagull, you may also be suffering because of your attachment to some aspect of the temporal. Perhaps it is your social status, someone else's success or state of being in the physical world relative to temporal matters. The way your body looks, your job, paying the bills, things you possess or want to possess, your house, your city, your culture, your physical health, the physical aspect of the self, and so on. This seagull has come to tell you that the answer you seek does not lie in the physical, and that you are being limited by your fixation on some aspect of the physical. It is like being so focused on the tree that you forget the forest. The thoughts causing your over-identification with the aspect of the physical must be questioned. It is time to invest your focus in the higher perspective or truth that comes with awareness that transcends physical life, space, and time, and all the things in it. Okay. I wanted to pull, I'm just thinking. I'm going to close this off with one final message from Universe. No, I know what I want to use. But I don't think. Okay, so we're going to pull your final messages. Any final messages in closing. Any final messages? Okay. So you have be gentle with yourself and grow through what you go through. So with the being gentle with yourself, I feel it's more of in the way I want to say, okay, so typically when you hear be gentle with yourself is that we tend to be a little bit more harsh on ourselves than we are with others. But I don't feel that for you. I think for you, the be gentle with yourself is pertaining to how you are how you're going to make the decision that you need to make, right? And to be more considerate of your feelings as well. Because, like I said at the beginning, you have like a really beautiful energy about you, and so I wanted to finish what I had said, and I didn't realize that I got cut off, and I had a little bit, maybe a few seconds left or a minute or so, to talk about the growth through what you go through. I ended off telling you that you're very good at taking care of others and being of service of others. And it's time for you to be of service for you, the same way as you are in service for others. To be that, to the love language, here's a better way of saying it. The love language that you are for others should be the love language that you put on you. The growth through what you go through, you're going to experience some setbacks between, as we're going into that preparatory stage, between, what did we say, mid-April and mid-August. You're going to have some distractions along the way, right? There are going to be days where you're going to question whether or not you're doing the right thing. You're going to get deterred because life gets in the way, not necessarily in a bad way, but life happens, and it'll deter you a little bit. So you're going to experience some ups and downs along this journey during this preparation journey. And the growth through what you go through is that the little setbacks that you will experience is an opportunity for you to grow and but still pursue what you need to pursue. And those setbacks will allow you to actually help you forge forward. All right. So I hope that was very helpful for you. And I want to thank you for bringing the question forward, and I wish you well. So we're going to go and move on to our third question. And the question that I received is more of a love question. And the question was, what can I expect from my love interest? It's been almost 3 years, and I've been a chicken to just come out and say something. So I'm going to pull the energy for the inquirer and their love interest. And of course, as I mentioned, although these questions are very specific, they can also be generalized based on your own situation as well. So right now we'll just focus on the energy between the inquirer and their love interest. Ooh. We're pulling from the Queen of the Moon Oracle. Energy, please, for the inquirer and their love interest. So what we have is assessing the void and fruition in reverse. So the way I read reverse is more of stagnation and like a block type of idea. So the first energy is assessing, which led you here. So I think you've been taking a look at your relationship. I want to say you're taking a look at it from one perspective, one angle. Obviously, this is from your own perspective. And I feel like because it's a half moon, or it's a first quarter moon, but because only partial of the moon is being shown, I feel that you feel there's something hidden in the relationship that you're, even though you've indicated that you haven't really come out and say anything, I think it you've there's a sense of, I want to say there's one-sided meaning, um, and I feel this is you are more emotional, like, even though, okay, because it's going to sound, even though you haven't come out to say, hey, where are we going with our relationship, you know maybe you're at, like, what's the next step in your relationship, whether it's marriage, you want to know where we're going from here. Even though you haven't had you have a fear of having that conversation, you're not afraid to show how you feel, right? But there's a hidden darkness there, and I think that darkness is you hiding that part of you, not revealing that part of you to your partner or to your love interest. And I feel like this void here is that hidden part that you obviously, like, this is just, so I was gonna say, you're avoiding it, like your back is turned. um yeah, your back is turned, you're not revealing anything to it. Kind of your questions coming out in the cards. But I feel that if you, and this is what's stopping from you getting what you want for yourself. And I was not necessarily, and I'm just going to say what's coming to mind, and it doesn't necessarily mean from your current person, right? It could be anything, right? You're not, because you're avoiding having the discussion, you're unable to harvest the essence of your relationship, right? And to get what it is that you want. either from your love interest or allowing you to open yourself up to receive that level of commitment that you're looking for from somebody else, because you're holding on to your current situation, right? But we'll explore that a little bit more. Okay. So let's go a little bit deeper. So tell us more. Oh my goodness. What's more information? You know what? Let's do it this way. Just to give us space. Okay. Okay. Let me pull these cards out. Okay. What do we need to know about the Inquirer and the love interest? There's two cards. There we go. Okay. So we have the Six of Swords, the Three of Wands, and the Seven of Pentacles. So So when I see the Six of Swords and the Three of Wands, I think they kind of correlate with one another, meaning that you're looking to move forward, right? Like you're setting yourself up. I feel like you're setting yourself up for a journey to allow yourself to move forward a little bit. Not even a little bit. Like the three. Okay. I'm getting caught up in my words here, and my thoughts is just moving a bit faster than I can like spill it out of my mouth. So essentially, with the Six of Swords, it's been a very emotional relationship. But for the most part, you know, it's calming, right? It's not one of those toxic relationships where, um, you know, you're in busy seas or waters where it's turbulent, or rough waters. For the most part, your relationship with your love interest is very calming, but you're really looking ahead, right? Of what it could potentially bring you. And you're seeking for directions with the Three of Wands. Yeah. And you're actually looking for directions. And I feel like it's one-sided. This direction pointing that, you know, you're leading the relationship, right? With you holding onto the map here with the Three of Wands, and you're just like, this is where we're going to go. And I think it's you've been the one directing the relationship and where it goes. And we'll find out a little bit more about that. But with the Seven of Pentacles, again, everything's so bright and like I just see sunflowers and sunshine and greenery. Like there's nothing here that tells me or where I feel that the relationship is, see, doesn't have like, potential is not even the right word. Like it's beautiful, like it can flourish. um and I feel that your love interest, mm, sorry. Okay, I'm pausing because there's two things that are coming through. So I'm getting a little, I feel like there's two energies here that's flowing through. So there may be another soul um, viewing this that is actually potentially going through the same thing, but their situation is a little bit different. So I'm going to, but the cards pertain to both. So let me put it that way. So if I flip between, so here's the situation. I have one situation where I feel that you've been dating for 3 years. And this is where I started off with, right? Where you're dating for 3 years and you want to know what's the next step because there's no level commitment. It's just been a lot of fun. Um, it's also been like you can be together for periods of time and then you can not be together for periods of time, right? So it's a relationship where you're not together 24 hours. Like it's a very independent, um I don't know how to say it. um you're you're fine together and you're fine not being together. So you have this autonomy from each other, but then you're also together, but you're not, together 24 hours. So you're not living with this person, right? Maybe you'll see them a few times in the week type of idea. It's kind of like you're more than casually dating, but you're at that stage of, I'll hang out. I'm fine being, I need some time by myself type of idea. And you can be by yourself on the weekend, right? Be separated from each other on the weekend. And, maybe you see each other, I don't know, every other day type of idea. And there's second energy that comes through where the love interest is a dear friend. Um, and you're still same thing, you're still going out, but you're not really dating, right? You're just chilling. It's more you have companionship because you're really good friends. um Now The Seven of Pentacles. And in either case, in either situation, the relationship is very beautiful, right? It's respectful, it's understanding, it's there's nothing bad about the relationship. And with the Seven of Pentacles, the love interest feels the same, right? Like when you scale back a little bit, they wonder why, right? And with the Seven of Pentacles, it's like there's a bit of reservation in this one that I feel. You're willing to give the majority of you, but not all of you, right? So there's a hesitation. So in either situation, there's a hesitation from the inquirer, and the love interest always wonders why you hold back a little bit. And when you hold back, it hurts them, right? Because they care for you very deeply, regardless of which, situation A or B you're in. This individual really cares for you. So when you hold back, they know when you're holding back, right? And they just want to be there for you, I feel, with the Seven of Pentacles. Let's find out. We'll go a little bit deeper. So tell us more about the Six of Swords and the Three of Wands. I feel like those two go together. Okay, tell us more about the Six of Swords and the Three of Wands. What do we need to know? Okay. So we talked about how the inquirer is how you're looking for something more than what it currently is. And you also feel that perhaps you're the one directing the relationship, right? So this talks about the relationship itself and you as you play in your role, the relationship itself. As I mentioned, you have the Page of Wands. So it's a playful, I feel like it's a very playful relationship. You have a lot of fun when you're together. When you are together, you do have a lot of fun with one another. You're able to play, like you have the same common interests as each other. I feel with the Judgment card, though, that it's a safe space. And I don't feel that there is judgment. Like you're both able. Now this is for either situation, okay? When one is being inward and very and secludes themselves, right? I think perhaps the love interest or you have their times of sadness and depression. Depression's too thick. It's not really that, but what you know when you're feeling down and you're there to help one another and you do so with no judgment. I feel like you you're able to bring each other up when things feel really low, and you hold space for one another. And at the same time, with the King of Wands here, you're able to, both of you, um, are ready to defend one another if you need to, against perhaps critics. Maybe there are people that, even though you don't judge each other, maybe you have people in your lives that um, may have opinions of your relationships. Sorry, but you're there for one another and you're ready to take action and defend your relationship for each other. Just 1 minute. I really need to cough. So. Okay. But I feel with the Seven of Swords, though, it feels like even though you have this level in a different type of relationship, I feel like it feels like you're sneaking around, like you still have to hide the relationship from certain people, or and or maybe what's coming through is I don't know. I'm gonna have to pull more on this because I feel like there's like some type of hiding or secrecy about the relationship. So I'm gonna pull a little bit more on this one, to find out what that is. But with the King of Cups there, I mean, he's someone, or again, I'll say, the pronouns, but it's neither he or she, it's masculine or feminine, whatever pertains to you. Um, but it's the relationship that um, that no matter what the waters are, the relationship embodies strength. There's confidence, there's security in your relationship. You can rely on each other. That's what I'm getting from the King of Cups. And there's a level of happiness that I also sense here as well. And from both parties. I'm going to dive in a little bit more on the Seven of Swords. Why is the Seven of Swords here? Tell us more about the Seven of Swords, sorry. We have the Hierophant and the Fool. Okay. You know what? Let me pull some more. Why is the Hierophant here? Something about the hieroglyphics. Tell us more about the Hierophant. Okay. There's something about this that's drawing my attention. So let me just pull that. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so the Hierophant is a card of higher learning and deep wisdom, which we knew. Okay. I need to know more about the Hierophant. This is very... Tell me the bridging energy between the Seven of Swords and the Hierophant. What is the bridging energy between the Seven Swords and the Hierophant? Oh, this came out. Okay. Okay. All right. The Hierophant is all about teaching or learning. I feel like there was a learning from a past relationship. The bridging energy between the past relationship is with Temperance. Whether it is the desire of whether that relationship could have been about, it was a very serious relationship where there was discussions about family, growing old together. I'm hoping you could see this, but family growing old together with the two cups here. Sorry, my throat is so dry. um, and with the Knight of Swords here, I feel like it was on its way to happen, whether there was an engagement that had occurred or thoughts of an engagement, but it was something that was happening very quickly. But what had happened here with the Four of Pentacles was, as the relationship began to continue, or as the relationship continued on, it got stale. And I think there was a level of, no one cheated, so that there was no third party involved in this, so that I will tell you right now. But there was a feeling of neglect, right? Either, like, you'll see that this individual here is on the phone, you know, there was no third party love interest, but there was a level of neglect, maybe, you know, going on the phone to, you know, I don't know, look up sports stats, talking to friends, if it was, you know, talking to friends. Either way, there was just it just grew into that level of neglect. And then eventually the relationship ended here with the Five of Cups. So that experience has taught them, which is the learning, that perhaps right now they're not looking for anything too serious. And they want to take things slow. So with the Nine of Cups, right? Another tarot reader, I believe it's the Nine of Cups, but the Nine of Cups, they're having a great time and they want to take things a little bit slow, a little bit more relaxed, and just enjoy the time that they have with you, right? And with the Three of Cups, don't be alarmed by the imagery. So again, no third party situation. I'm not feeling that in this reading at all, but they're just really looking to have a good time. And I don't mean that in a very rude, I just want to have my way and go. It's not like that at all. It's more of, I want to be able to hang out with you, have drinks with you, go out for dinner with you, watch a movie with you, be intimate with you. But I want to do it in a very slow manner. And I know for the one, it was 3 years with your love interest. And we'll go a little bit deeper into, you know, what to expect. But right now, the energy feels like right now, they just want to take things a little bit slower, only because of the experience that they had in the past. Now, the Fool came in as well. So the Fool card is kind of like that leap of faith. So although they're doing the learning, they're still taking a leap of faith, right? Because they're taking that leap of faith with you. They're at the start, for them, they're at the start of their journey. Yeah, let's find out a little bit more. But they're at the start of the journey with you. With you. So tell us more about the Fool and why it's here. Mm. Okay, so here's what I'm getting here. So with the Nine of Pentacles, they're very content where they're at with you. Yeah, they're very content with what they have with you. Like, I mean, they have the Nine of Cups, they have the Nine of Pentacles. Everything is great with them when they're with you. Right? And even though they're at the start of their journey, they're very happy where they are with you. They're being mindful and being careful that they don't get their heart broken. So they're still, kind of weary and taking their time with it. And they're just kind of assessing and looking at everything just to make sure that, they don't get hurt again. So there is that there is that wall, but the wall isn't a very thick wall. It's not a wall that you wouldn't be able to pile through or plow through or break through at all. They're just being conscientious about their heart. Now with the Seven of Pentacles, tell us more about the Seven of Pentacles. Why is the Seven of Pentacles here? Oh, okay, we have a story. Oh, that's nice. Oh. Okay. Very, very beautiful. Okay. So I remember I mentioned Seven of Pentacles is they hurt when you hurt. They're sad when you're sad. And you both have that level of commitment with one another when it comes to holding space for each other. But you have the Star. So as far as a wish fulfillment, I feel like you both are each other's wish fulfillment, right? Even if they're taking their time and they're being slow, you're both on the same page when it comes to, um, you know, being with one another and how you feel about one another. You're like you're each other's star or wish. The Two of Pentacles. Now, typically the Two of Pentacles, the sign here, or the affinity with the Two of Pentacles inside, is usually unbalanced. So you'll see one end being lower than the other. But here, even though it's not equal, right? Again, there's still that level, like the emotions are, about the same, right? I can tell you if one's more than the other, but you're both leveled with one another, right? When it comes to each other's feelings and how you feel with one another. You fill each other's cups with a Ten of Cups. So the Ten of Cups is that family oriented, having it all. And this is where, the Nine of Cups is, I want to take it slow. But then when it comes to you, they do, like, you're both under the same page. You both want the family, right? Like, again, you're looking upwards. So it's something that you both think about and know that you want. Maybe there has been, you know, slight discussions, but not serious discussions about it. But you're on the same page when it comes to wanting to have a family. And again, here's the Empress, where the, um, mm, with the Empress is, birthing that information. Um, okay. Yeah. So with the Empress is the start of um, the start of something. And I feel that if you start, this is what's coming out. So for the inquirer about not coming out and say something, um, when you're ready to say something, which I think you are, you'll find that you're both on the same page as the King of Swords here, right? Um, yeah, you have two hearts in the background. He's holding a clipboard. It's almost as if, you handed off, or you're going to be sharing the map to, you know, for you to get to where you wanted to go, for the two of you to get to where you want to go. And then you have the Six of Cups, which to me is self-reflection. Um, I feel this is this way. Just the way these cards are, the order I'm going to change a little bit. Here. It still holds true about the family and how what I said, but the way it's going to work is in the next little bit, you're going to go through your own self-reflection. You're being encouraged to think about what it is you truly, truly want. If it is the person that you want to be with. Like I said, you both have, in either situation, whether it's a friendship, the friendship piece, or the inquiry, or someone who's been with someone for 3 years, it's an opportunity for your reflection to kind of balance everything out, because you have been with them for a while, right? Your relationship has been flourishing for the last few years, and you're gonna, and like I said, you both have that same level of respect. Your relationship is not one's more, not one person feels more than the other. Um, but I think once you have the conversation, you're both going, like I said earlier, you're both going to be able to help each other out, and it'll be equal. You know what I mean? You'll be able to navigate, like you'll both take turns navigating the relationship, right? and you both have the same level, same desires of nurturing. You'll be nurturing the relationship. That's what the Empress does. She's a mother. So you'll both be able to nurture the relationship. You'll both be, and it's all equal. Like, I don't feel like it's going to be weighted one way or the other at all. Yeah, all that to pursue for the family. And again, you're each other's wish fulfillment. Like, I don't, I feel it's all good here. But I feel this piece here is not going to be anytime soon. I think that healing portion that the individual needs to take place first before any conversation needs to happen. Let's see. I could pull to look here. Oops. Could look for time here. Okay. When do you think this conversation the right time should happen? Moon, which is, oh, you got the moon here. Okay. Okay. So for this deck here, the moon is linked with Pisces, associated with instincts, emotions, dreams, imagination, creativity, cyclic rhythms, and the female principle. The sea symbolizes the subconscious influence by the magnetism of the moon. The lighthouses denote gateways to other worlds. The jackals are the servants of Diana, the moon goddess, and the Egyptian god Anubis, who harbors illusion or fraud. Two fish represent development, dilemma, choices, and emotional challenges. And the Hebrew character, which is on the below here, is a symbol of the back of the head and represents achievement. So it says it's linked with Pisces, and I know Pisces, I just had this, is mid-March to mid-April. Right? Mid-March to mid-April. But I don't feel it's this March. Okay, let me pull one more. But Pisces has a significance. I feel like there might be a little bit more revealed to you at that time. And when I mean reveal is more of from your own self-reflection. You're going to learn a little bit more. And then you got the King of Cups. Oh, good again. You had the King of Cups somewhere here. Or was he? Here. That talked about your relationship here. King of Cups. You have the King of Cups again. And the King of Cups Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So Cups is water. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces again. Okay. Yep. So something definitely will be revealed to you in March. And with it being a King of Cups, yeah. So, okay. So Pisces for sure, something's going. You're going to get something revealed. And I think the revelation will be from the love interest. If anything, you will know. If they haven't told you already, you'll know how they feel about you, even though you haven't had the conversation about future, because sometimes that is, you want to take your time with that. And like I said, that's not going to happen soon. For Cups, which is linked to water, is Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. We already mentioned that Pisces for sure. Pisces coming in March to mid-April. Something will be revealed to you. And then we have the Princess of Wands, which is fire. Just show you that. And then Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Okay. So Sagittarius, which is mid-November to mid-December, is where you'll be told, you'll get the answer that you'll be seeking. Or that's when you'll ask the question. I think that's the best time to ask the question, is around that time frame. More in December, probably closer to mid-December. That's, yeah. I think that's where you're going to have, not that you don't have the courage, but more of the courage to come out, to talk, because between spring and winter, you're going to learn a lot about one another. And I think by the time December comes around, you'll both be able to come together, have the conversation, and it's not going to be a bad conversation at all, as long as you're open. And yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, really, there's nothing more than that. I'm hearing you'll be both open to possibilities there. So that's all I have for you. I'm going to close this off to get your final energy or final message. Yeah. So once you, you had that assessment phase, which is happening now. You had the void, which we brought up, which we know, is current, which we know is blocking you to get what you want. So in order for this fruition, to move from the reverse to the upright position, that will occur by mid-December. So, final messages for the inquirer about their love interest. Final messages. Oops. Go. Okay. Oh, you got two here. So the first one is I go deeper into the root of my physical discomforts to learn and heal. And then it reads, I let the healing energy of my heart heal my body from any discomforts. I feel like there's another card here. No. Okay. Okay. So I go deeper into the root of my physical discomforts to learn and heal. I feel like you could take this as an opportunity from now until mid-March, mid-April, as an opportunity to kind of explore kind of go in and explore a little bit about yourself, kind of looking at what you're afraid of and the fear of approaching the individual or saying anything to them. What is it that's making you, or what is it that is bringing you into the void, and not like, what are you trying to avoid and why, right? What is it that makes it so comfortable for you? I think that's that self-reflection piece here, and that's part of it too, is trying to understand what is it that's making it uncomfortable, right? And once you can figure out that discomfort and why it's making you uncomfortable, or why you've been avoiding it for so long, it'll allow you to heal your heart, right? So it goes hand in hand. So if you let the healing energy of your heart heal your body from any discomforts, that's how you'll be able to, once you're able to go deeper into the root of your physical discomfort, why are you avoiding this? Why is it taking you 3 years to avoid? Like, what is the actual root? It can't be the physical fear of being rejected, but what is it about that rejection that's making you scared, right? And then once you know what that is and you can heal from that, your heart can also heal at the same time, right? And with your heart healing, it will allow you to be able to have a difficult conversation for you, right? Because at this point, until then, we don't know how he'll, your partner or your love interest will respond, although positively. That makes our body feel uncomfortable. It makes our stomach, what is it? it turns our stomach, right? Some people throw up, some people just physically get ill, they get anxious. Um, so you're being encouraged to come from your heart space and be authentic and true from that space. And that will help your discomfort and anxieties when you start to have the conversation with your love interest. So I'm going to end it there. I hope that helped you, and I wish you well. Thank you for posing your questions, everyone. I really, truly appreciate that you took the time to do so. I do apologize that it's taking this long for it to come and get uploaded. I have been ill, as you can hear probably in my voice, and a little hacking fest I had just a little bit, so I apologize for that as well. But thank you for taking the opportunity to tune into my channel and listening to your messages to the end. I truly appreciate your energy. I hope something resonated with you. If it does, please like or subscribe to the channel. Press the bell to be notified of my next reading, and it lets me know that you enjoyed the reading as much as I enjoyed reading it for you.